from Darfeasy Studios in Eddyville, Kentucky. It's time for another episode of Darfeasy's TV Recap. Tonight, who wins the ultimate season of Survivor? Flash rhymes up in a very cliffhanger-like episode. And Jordan's time in baseball and his comeback to the NBA. Now it's time for your host, Darfeasy! Hello, Easy Nation, and welcome to another episode of Darfeasy's TV Recap. I hope everyone's enjoying this episode so far. Yeah, that got away from me. So let's get right into it. Let's talk about some TV, and then we'll talk about some sign-offs at the end of the show. So the first episode, The Last Dance. So first we're going to talk about my favorite show, probably 2020 so far, maybe. I'll have to go back and really think about it once the finale comes on tonight, which I'm really looking forward to how The Last Dance ends. And that's The Last Dance. So the first episode, it starts off with, it covers Jordan's dad getting murdered. I did not know that. Maybe it's because I was I was a little easy back in those days. So it was kind of interesting to see a lot of stuff that people are like, oh, it's him getting the gambling and stuff. And basically, in this episode, you find out Jordan, he just retires. He's like, I'm done. I don't want to play anymore. He's just overwhelmed. He's just tired. And then he starts trying to become a baseball player. And it was interesting to see the guy who coaches the Indians, who also coaches the Boston Red Sox, was the manager of Michael Jordan. That was fascinating. I did not know that because I like him, even though he coached the team I hate. I think he's a great manager, and it's interesting to hear that people are like, why would Jordan go into play baseball? But you know what? It turns out that if given 150 bats, Jordan most likely would have made a Major League Baseball team. And that would have been very interesting. And I'll cover a little more of it when I get into the next episode. And I also like how this episode covers a lot into the Bulls team the year without Jordan and how they almost made it to the NBA Finals without Jordan. And it was kind of cool to look into this episode, looking at Scottie Pippen, the one where he decided not to go in for the final play, and how he just broke down in tears. And it's a good episode of Last Dance. And let's get into the episode 8. This is the episode where, so it's interesting to hear that if the 94 or was it the 94-95 when the MLB was on the strike, and how they asked Jordan to come in and play, and he's like, no, I'm not doing that. If I can't make the real rosters, I'm not coming in to play. It's interesting to hear that if the strike had never happened, Michael probably would have been on a Major League Baseball team. So that's kind of fascinating to hear. So, but then he makes his comeback in the NBA, plays like a month of the season, helps the Bulls get to the playoffs, but he was just not ready for it. Because I love baseball. Baseball is one of my favorite sports to watch. I know people are like, baseball's boring. Well, how could you like watching baseball? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, you people are stupid. Baseball is just such a fun game to watch. It can be a great hitting game. It can be a good pitching. It takes more patience. It's not as exciting as some other sports. But baseball is one of the best sports to watch. And I don't care what anybody says. But it was cool seeing how he comes back, but how it's different workouts. It's how you get ready for baseball. Like baseball, it's not all about running, and it's not about your strength or anything. Basketball is completely different. It's about strength. It's about having the stamina. And Jordan looked tired in those games. And then he made his comeback. And that next year, when they picked up Dennis Rodman, they won. Probably, it's an argument to say what Bulls team was the best, but statistics-wise, this Bulls team was probably the best Bulls team to ever to play under Michael. And he may not have been the best, but he was. That was probably the best Bulls team statistically wise. Or maybe the NBA was worse that year, and then they win that NBA championship. So yeah, it was a good episode. I'm ready for the series finale of these episodes coming out tonight. So let's move on to Killing Eve, Season 3, Episode 5, "Are you from Pioneer?" This episode was very interesting because this episode completely focuses on Villanelle and focuses on kind of her childhood a little bit, because we see where she returns home and how her mom's kind of a monster, how her mom never really got along, and she basically kicks her out of the house at the end of the episode, and Eve just like and then Villanelle just murders her and her father-in-law, and but keeps her half brother and keeps her real brother alive, because she actually kind of cares about them. And also, it was kind of a sweet little moment when she gives her that little brother the money to go see Elton John. And it's kind of retribution, because that mom was kind of a bitch character. All right, let's move on to Batwoman, Season 1, Episode 19, A Secret Kept from All the Rest. So this episode, we bring in Hush, and it wasn't the Edward Nygma Hush, but it was kind of cool watching the episode. I was like, ooh, that's Hush. And basically, they're trying to unlock Lucius Fox's journal, and basically they kidnap Luke, and Kate makes the ultimate sacrifice, says, "I gotta save you. I'm nothing without my friends." And so now Alice has the secrets to Lucius Fox's journal to kill the Bat and some other mischief weapons. So yeah, that was an episode of Batwoman. Let's move on to The Flash, Season 6, Episode 19. Success is assured. So the thing about this finale of Flash, it doesn't feel like a season finale. It feels like a cliffhanger episode that was probably leading us into the final parts of the season. The season had to wrap up because of the things going on with the coronavirus, so they weren't able to shoot the last part of the season. I've been hearing reports that the show probably won't return until 2021, so it's going to be a while before we get to see this finale. The Mirror Girl, she kills her husband. Barry kind of has no speed, and Sue is being framed for murder. So I'm curious to see what happens, I guess, next season now. It is a very unfulfilling finale, but I'm not going to judge The Flash until I see the finale next year. But the season overall was okay. It was kind of underwhelming. Last season I thought was pretty good. This season was just kind of mixed for me. And you can check out my full review. It'll be out sometime this week. Let's move on to Legends of Tomorrow, Season 5, Episode 12, Freaks and Geeks. This episode, the Legends go Greek. They have to get this chalice from Dionysus, who has the gauntlet, who can turn all the legends into a god for a day, so they can use the Loom of Fates. This was a fun episode. Legends always has these little fun episodes, and that's what this episode of Legends was. It was fun. Them drinking. There was no action or anything to it. It was just them doing these party games, and I kind of enjoyed it. Let's move on to the theme of the week, and that's Survivor, Season 40, Episode 40. It all boils down to this. Good finale. Just good finale. The first part of the finale, we see Natalie, she wins the challenge. Duh. We knew she was probably going to win because she's got a lot of screen time, but she found a lot of fire tokens. Like 14, 16 fire tokens. That's just ridiculous. And the thing is, I hate the fire making challenge, and I wasn't crazy about what they did with the fire tokens. I think I'm interested to see the fire tokens enter a system of Survivor when we don't have Edge of Extinction. Because I hate Edge of Extinction. It's cool seeing all your favorite survivors in there all season suffering. But I'd rather see a straight up Survivor season beyond this Edge of Extinction. The first vote where Tony's like, it's like, we had to vote for Denise. If we don't, she could blindside one of us, and one of us could go home at 6. And we don't want that. We want to go to final 3. Me, Sarah, and Ben. We want to go to final 3. And but they're like, no, Natalie doesn't have an idol. It was one of the weird, rare moments where I was like, Sarah, you're wrong. And guess what? Natalie has an idol. Michelle has the immunity. They vote out. But luckily, Tony and Ben play their idol. So if they had voted Sarah out, it probably would have worked. But Ben played his idol, and that kept them all alive. So, and in the next vote, Michelle and Natalie both lose immunity. But now they have to, it's a 50-50 shot. Who are they going to try to take out? They're going to try to take out Ben. They want to get rid of Ben for some reason. And I think Sarah made a mistake. I think she got a little emotional with Ben because Ben said you don't want to go to that final tribal council, look like you're being carried, and so Sarah votes out Ben. They played it out right. They voted Michelle, but I think Sarah made a big mistake taking out Tony or taking out Ben in this episode. I think it cost her maybe $2 million. And in the finals, Natalie wins that immunity, forces the Cops R Us alliance to go against each other, and somehow Tony wins. It was probably the best fire making challenge. I hate the fire making challenge because it takes away from the social dynamic of Survivor in that because if we don't have the fire making challenge, Ben does not go home at Final Five unless the idol gets played on him. Then we have nothing to gripe about. But then that means Ben doesn't get taken out at Final Five. That means Michelle goes out. That means they all have to try to beat Natalie, and then they just got. And then they would probably all vote out Ben at the Final Four, most likely. And then we would have had a Tony, Sarah, Final Two, Final Three with Natalie. And the finale was good. I thought Tony did a good job in the Final Tribal Council. I think it's one of the best. It might be the best finale in Survivor history. I think it would have been even better if we could have seen Tony versus Sarah, because I think Sarah might have pulled up the upset. I really do think that. And I think even if Tony had lost the thing, I don't think Natalie wins. I think Sarah still wins the game. But it was a good finale. Decent season of Survivor. I don't think it's the greatest season of all time. Jeff Probst thinks it is. I don't think it is. I can think of a couple seasons like Kagyan. I can think of the original Heroes versus Villains. I can think maybe, I don't know if it's better than All Stars, because I don't know how the older season of Survivor holds up to modern day Survivor. But overall, good season of Survivor. I will have my full review of it sometime this week. I'm going to shoot probably for Tuesday or Wednesday, probably for that Survivor. So yeah. Final episode to talk about, we had the My Hero Academia Season 4, Episode 23, Let It Flow School Festival. This episode, very simple. Midoriya trying to get back to the school. They do the festival. They do their concerts. Puts a smile on Aries' face. That's the finale. That's the episode of My Hero Academia. And also, Gento goes to the police station. Alright guys, that ends another episode of Darth Easy's TV Recap. Guys, I hope y'all enjoyed this episode of Darth Easy's TV Recap. Some things going on in the channel. I got some reviews coming out this week. Today I actually have my review of Riverdale because I kept forgetting to upload it to YouTube. And so it will be up today. It should be out 2 hours before this actually releases. So if you're listening to this, you can check out my Riverdale review of it right now. And later this week, I'm going to try to upload my Survivor review. I'm going to try to have my review of Flash and my review of The Last Dance. So you can check out all those sometime tonight. And guys, also make sure you check out the Easy K Show. Right now, me and Rain Cage are in kind of a hiatus. Mostly it's due to the fact I can't ever get a hold of him. Every time I message him, he never answers. So I'm going to try to message him tonight. And if we do, I'm going to try to post 3 episodes. It'll be a movie news episode, top 10 fantasy, and our May episode, even though there's no point of doing a May episode anymore. But we're still going to do it because that's just part of it. So guys, make sure you click that like button, subscribe, share this among your friends. Let's get this podcast rolling more. And like I said, in the summer, I don't know how many shows I'm going to be doing because right after this week, I'm not going to have much to talk about. I'm going to check out the pilot of Stargirl next week. So that's going to be interesting to watch. We'll see if I will be able to have a summer show to watch like that. And Legend of Tomorrow I think it ends in June. So that's really going to be it for me for TV. I still have a couple episodes of My Hero Academia to catch up on whenever it comes out. So I have some things planned. Once I finish my big project, I haven't been working on it at all the last few weeks. So my Star Wars marathon, and I just got really, really lazy in doing it. And I'm going to do it. It's going to take me time. But once I do that, I'll start watching some other TV shows. But maybe during the summertime, once all my shows are done with, this show might go on a little bit of a break. It doesn't mean I'm ending it. It just means I'm going on a break. That's all that means. So we'll find out as the show goes around. But yeah, so guys, so until next week, all too easy, and take care, guys. Bye!